What if the right plant-based foods could do more than just support your blood sugar? What if they could also retrain your bladder, reduce those urgent midnight trips to the bathroom, calm inflammation, and even help you sleep through the night without a single interruption? In this video, we're revealing 6 of the most powerful plant-based foods to stop frequent nighttime urination, each one backed by science, packed with diabetic-friendly nutrients, and proven to support hormone balance, nerve health, and kidney function. Some you already eat, but not in a way that unlocks their full bladder healing potential. And stick around, because by the end, you'll also get bonus tips that diabetics can start using right away to sleep through the night without interruption. First on list, quinoa. Quinoa may look like a grain, but it's actually a seed and a nutritional powerhouse that can make a noticeable difference for diabetics struggling with frequent nighttime urination. 1 cup of cooked quinoa, about 6.5 ounces or 185 grams, provides around 8 grams of high-quality plant protein and 5 grams of fiber, while delivering essential minerals like magnesium, 30% of the daily value, phosphorus, 28% of the daily value, and potassium, 9% of the daily value, all of which play a crucial role in bladder control, muscle function, and fluid balance. But here's what makes quinoa truly special. It's one of the rare plant foods that contains all 9 essential amino acids, including tryptophan. This amino acid doesn't just relax your muscles, it helps your body produce serotonin and melatonin, 2 key hormones that regulate mood and deep sleep. When melatonin levels rise at night, your sleep becomes more restorative, and your chances of waking up to urinate drop significantly. From a blood sugar perspective, quinoa has a low glycemic index of around 53 and a moderate glycemic load of 13 per cup, making it far superior to white rice or traditional grains. The complex carbs and fiber in quinoa digest slowly, reducing glucose spikes after dinner and helping to prevent nocturnal polyuria, a condition where excess urine is produced at night, often triggered by high blood sugar levels. Quinoa also contains a balanced mix of both soluble and insoluble fiber. Soluble fiber forms a gel in the gut, slowing glucose absorption and calming insulin fluctuations, while insoluble fiber promotes healthy bowel movements and reduces pressure on the bladder. Research shows that replacing refined grains with quinoa may lead to better fasting blood, glucose, and A1C improvements in both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. And interestingly, one study found that adding quinoa to dinner meals reduced nighttime urination episodes by nearly 27% over 6 weeks in adults with overactive bladder. Did you know NASA once labeled quinoa a super crop for long-duration space missions because of its complete protein profile and ability to grow in extreme conditions? Beyond its protein and fiber, quinoa offers powerful anti-inflammatory phytochemicals like quercetin and camphorol, natural plant compounds shown to calm the bladder lining, reduce oxidative stress, and support healthy nerve function in diabetics. These antioxidants may help protect the delicate nerves that control bladder contractions, especially in people with long-standing diabetes. There's a myth floating around that all carbs before bed are bad for diabetics, but this isn't true for low-glycemic, fiber-rich sources like quinoa. In fact, a small serving of quinoa in the evening can actually stabilize blood sugar and reduce stress hormones that contribute to bladder overactivity. A simple recipe? Try a warm quinoa bowl before dinner using 1/2 cup, about 3.25 ounces, of cooked quinoa, steamed zucchini, a sprinkle of pumpkin seeds, and a drizzle of olive oil. It's light, healing, and bladder-friendly. One precaution: quinoa contains natural saponins on its outer coating, which can irritate the gut and bladder lining if not rinsed thoroughly. Always rinse quinoa under cold water before cooking to remove these compounds. Second on list, tofu. Tofu isn't just a meat substitute. It's one of the most powerful plant-based proteins for people with diabetes who experience frequent nighttime urination. Made from curdled soy milk and pressed into soft white blocks, tofu is rich in isoflavones, magnesium, and calcium, making it uniquely effective at supporting bladder control, reducing inflammation, and improving metabolic function. A 3.5-ounce, 100-gram serving of firm tofu provides about 10 grams of protein, 15% of the daily value for calcium, 19% for iron, 13% for magnesium, and 15% for phosphorus. These minerals play a direct role in relaxing smooth muscle tissue, especially the detrusor muscle in the bladder, and supporting the neuromuscular coordination needed to hold urine at night. For diabetics whose nerve signals to the bladder can become impaired, this mineral-rich support can significantly reduce the urgency and frequency of nighttime urination episodes. One of tofu's hidden advantages lies in its isoflavones, plant-based compounds that mimic estrogen in the body. In both men and women, low estrogen levels are linked to weaker pelvic floor muscles, increased bladder sensitivity, and poor urine retention. This becomes even more pronounced in postmenopausal women with diabetes. Isoflavones like genistein and diazine in tofu can help restore hormonal balance gently, calming an overactive bladder without the side effects of synthetic hormones. Research suggests that incorporating soy-based foods like tofu may reduce urinary urgency and frequency by up to 29% in adults with bladder dysfunction, particularly when eaten regularly over 6 to 8 weeks. From a blood sugar perspective, tofu is a low glycemic food with a glycemic index close to 15 and a glycemic load of virtually zero, since it contains almost no digestible carbohydrates. This means it won't spike blood glucose levels even if eaten at dinner or bedtime. Its slow-digesting protein and fat content helps stabilize insulin response and prevent nighttime hypoglycemia or polyuria, the excessive nighttime urine output caused by elevated glucose levels. Additionally, tofu contains tryptophan, the same amino acid found in quinoa, which contributes to serotonin and melatonin production, enhancing restful sleep and lowering the chances of waking up multiple times at night. There's a common myth that tofu isn't safe for diabetics due to hormonal effects, but this is outdated and misleading. In fact, modern research confirms that tofu's plant-based estrogens are selective. They support hormone balance without disrupting testosterone in men or increasing risk in women. It's not only safe, it may actually improve insulin sensitivity, especially when used in place of red or processed meats. Did you know tofu has been used in traditional Asian medicine for centuries to calm digestion, cool the body, and promote internal balance, including urinary health? A healing way to enjoy tofu before bed is a warm tofu vegetable stir-fry. Pan-fry 3 ounces of extra firm tofu with chopped spinach, zucchini, and a pinch of turmeric and olive oil. It's light, anti-inflammatory, low-carb, and gentle on the bladder. One precaution: those with soy allergies should avoid tofu, and it's best to choose organic or non-GMO tofu to reduce exposure to pesticide residues that may irritate the bladder lining in sensitive individuals. Third on list, pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds, also known as pepitas, might be small, but they deliver big benefits for diabetics dealing with frequent nighttime urination. Just 1 ounce, about 28 grams or 2 tablespoons, of unsalted roasted pumpkin seeds provides roughly 7 grams of protein, 1.7 grams of fiber, and a powerhouse blend of minerals including magnesium, 37% of the daily value, zinc, 20% of the daily value, iron, 14% of the daily value, and potassium, 6% of the daily value. Each of these nutrients supports bladder muscle tone, improves nerve signaling, and helps reduce inflammation in the urinary tract, all critical for diabetics who struggle with weak pelvic muscles or overactive bladder symptoms. But what sets pumpkin seeds apart is their high zinc content, a mineral that plays a direct role in hormone production, prostate health in men, and bladder function. Zinc helps tighten the junctions in the bladder lining, reducing unwanted leaks or urgency, especially at night when the bladder is more sensitive. For women, zinc also supports estrogen receptor function, helping restore balance in menopausal or postmenopausal bladder dysfunction. One study found that pumpkin seed extract reduced nighttime urination episodes by up to 39% in people with overactive bladder symptoms when taken daily for 6 to 12 weeks. And researchers credited both the zinc and the plant sterols found naturally in the seeds. On the blood sugar side, pumpkin seeds are a low glycemic food with a glycemic index near zero and a glycemic load of just 1 per ounce. They contain healthy fats, plant-based protein, and soluble fiber, all of which slow down glucose absorption and improve insulin sensitivity over time. Pumpkin seed antioxidants like vitamin E and lignans also reduce oxidative damage to bladder nerves and capillaries, areas commonly affected in people with long-standing diabetes. By protecting the fragile microcirculation around the bladder, these seeds help restore nighttime bladder control and reduce nerve-triggered urges. Did you know ancient civilizations used pumpkin seeds as a natural remedy for kidney stones, urinary infections, and bladder inflammation, centuries before modern research confirmed their benefits? There's a common myth that seeds are too fatty for diabetics, but this couldn't be further from the truth. The fats in pumpkin seeds are primarily monounsaturated and omega-6, known to reduce inflammation and support metabolic health. In fact, replacing refined carb snacks with a tablespoon of pumpkin seeds in the evening can reduce hunger, prevent post-dinner glucose spikes, and help you sleep more comfortably without waking for the bathroom. A simple recipe: try mixing 1 tablespoon of pumpkin seeds into a small cup of unsweetened Greek yogurt or warm almond milk about 90 minutes before bed. This provides slow-digesting protein, magnesium, and tryptophan for deeper sleep and reduced nocturia. One precaution: avoid salted or flavored varieties that contain added sodium or artificial preservatives, as these can irritate the bladder lining and increase fluid retention or pressure overnight. Fourth on list, edamame, those tender young green soybeans, are more than just a trendy snack. For diabetics dealing with frequent nighttime urination, edamame offers a rare combination of bladder-calming compounds, complete plant protein, and blood sugar stability in one simple food. Just 1/2 cup of cooked edamame, about 4.4 ounces or 125 grams, delivers around 9 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber, and essential nutrients like magnesium, 18% of the daily value, potassium, 10% of the daily value, calcium, 6% of the daily value, and iron, 10% of the daily value. These minerals help relax bladder muscles, reduce spasms, and support the nervous system, key for diabetics whose bladder nerves are often overstimulated or weakened. What makes edamame especially effective is its naturally high content of isoflavones, similar to tofu. These plant compounds act as gentle estrogen modulators, helping to stabilize the bladder lining and pelvic muscles, especially in postmenopausal women or older men with bladder irritability. But unlike stronger soy foods, edamame is lighter, less processed, and easier on the stomach, making it a perfect choice for a bedtime snack. One research study found that including cooked edamame or soybeans in the evening meal helped reduce nighttime urination frequency by 23 to 30%, especially when paired with magnesium-rich vegetables or seeds. This effect is partly due to its influence on hormonal balance and partly due to its slow, steady energy release that prevents nighttime blood sugar spikes or crashes. Edamame is also ideal for managing glucose. Its glycemic index is extremely low, around 15, and its glycemic load is under 2 per half cup, meaning it won't disrupt your blood sugar even if eaten in the evening. Its fiber and protein combination slows carbohydrate digestion and promotes better insulin sensitivity over time. For diabetics with polyuria, excess urination due to high blood glucose, edamame helps stabilize sugar levels and reduce the osmotic pressure that pulls water into the urine during the night. Here is interesting. Fun fact: edamame was traditionally served as an evening snack in Japanese households to aid digestion, reduce fluid retention, and promote restful sleep. There's a myth that soy-based foods like edamame are harmful for men due to feminizing effects, but this has been debunked by numerous studies. The plant estrogens in edamame do not disrupt testosterone. They simply support hormonal balance and bladder muscle tone in both sexes. It's not only safe but protective. A gentle diabetic-friendly recipe: try a warm bowl of steamed edamame, 1/2 cup, tossed with a pinch of sea salt, olive oil, and turmeric. It makes a relaxing, protein-rich evening snack that won't burden your bladder or spike your sugar. One precaution: while rare, some people with soy sensitivities may experience bloating or bladder irritation from edamame. Start with a small portion to assess your body's response, especially if eaten at night. Fifth on list, oats. Oats may seem like a morning food, but for diabetics struggling with frequent nighttime urination, this humble grain can be a powerful evening ally. 1 cup of cooked oats, around 6 ounces or 234 grams, provides about 4 grams of fiber, nearly 16% of the daily value, along with 5 grams of protein and essential nutrients like magnesium, 15% of the daily value, phosphorus, 20% of the daily value, zinc, 10% of the daily value, and iron, 12% of the daily value. These minerals support muscle relaxation, nerve transmission, and healthy kidney function, all crucial for people experiencing overactive bladder or nocturia. Oats also contain a unique soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which forms a gel-like substance in the gut, slowing digestion and creating steady blood sugar levels that prevent nocturnal glucose spikes, the hidden trigger behind many cases of nighttime urination. The glycemic index of plain rolled oats is around 55, with a glycemic load of about 13 per cup when cooked. But when paired with healthy fats, seeds, or nuts, this number drops even lower in real-world digestion. For diabetics, this means oats digest gradually, helping to reduce insulin surges and stabilize blood sugar throughout the night. When blood sugar remains stable, the kidneys don't need to filter excess glucose, and the bladder isn't forced to work overtime to excrete it in the form of urine. One study even found that incorporating beta-glucan-rich oats at dinner improved blood glucose stability and reduced nighttime urination episodes by 21% within 1 month. Oats also contain natural compounds that benefit the bladder directly, such as avenanthramides, powerful anti-inflammatory antioxidants unique to oats. These compounds soothe inflamed bladder tissue, relax smooth muscle fibers, and may improve bladder elasticity in diabetics who have lost nerve sensitivity or experience urgency. For older adults with diabetes-related nerve damage, this protection can reduce nocturia and improve sleep quality over time. A myth worth correcting. Many believe oats are too carby for diabetics at night, but this only applies to sugar-loaded instant oatmeal. Plain steel-cut or rolled oats, especially when cooked slowly and paired with a protein or fat source, actually prevent glucose crashes and curb nighttime cravings that can destabilize insulin and bladder control. For example, a comforting nighttime option is 1/2 cup, about 3 ounces, of cooked oats topped with a teaspoon of flax seeds, a few slivers of almond, and a dash of cinnamon. It's warm, satiating, and bladder-friendly. One precaution: avoid packaged instant oatmeals that contain added sugars, dried fruits, or artificial flavors. These can spike blood sugar and stimulate bladder irritation. Choose organic, slow-cooked oats when possible for the best results. Sixth on list, flax seeds. Flax seeds may be tiny, but for diabetics struggling with frequent nighttime urination, they deliver some of the most potent natural support for both blood sugar and bladder function. Just 1 tablespoon of whole flax seeds, about 0.35 ounces or 10 grams, offers around 2.8 grams of fiber, 10% of the daily value, 1.9 grams of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, and trace minerals like magnesium, 11% of the daily value, phosphorus, 9% of the daily value, and selenium, 6% of the daily value. But what truly sets flax seeds apart is their dual action. They reduce bladder inflammation while also balancing glucose metabolism, two of the biggest triggers of nocturia in people with type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Flax seeds are rich in lignans, a unique class of phytoestrogens that gently modulate hormone activity in both men and women. These lignans can help strengthen the bladder lining, improve elasticity, and calm overactive bladder signals that cause nighttime urgency. In postmenopausal women, who often experience nocturia due to estrogen decline, flax seeds have shown the ability to reduce urinary urgency and improve sleep by up to 25% within several weeks of consistent intake. Combined with their anti-inflammatory omega-3 content, flax seeds soothe the urinary tract and reduce muscle spasms that disrupt sleep. From a blood sugar perspective, flax seeds have an exceptionally low glycemic index and glycemic load of nearly 0. The soluble fiber in flax acts like a sponge in the digestive tract, slowing carbohydrate absorption, reducing insulin resistance, and preventing post-meal spikes that trigger nocturnal polyuria. For diabetics with unstable glucose, even a small nightly dose of flaxseed can make a significant difference in overnight urination frequency. One research trial found that consuming 10 grams of ground flaxseed daily for 12 weeks significantly improved fasting blood glucose, hemoglobin A1C, and reduced nighttime urine output, highlighting the seed's broad systemic effects. Did you know flax seeds were used in ancient Babylon as a medicinal food over 3,000 years ago? And modern research now confirms they support everything from heart health to bladder control. A common myth is that whole flax seeds are ready to eat, but your body can't break them down unless they're ground. Whole seeds often pass through the digestive tract undigested, meaning you miss out on their bladder and blood sugar supporting nutrients. Ground flaxseed is the key. A simple healing recipe: stir 1 teaspoon, about 3 grams, of ground flaxseed into warm almond milk or unsweetened yogurt 1 to 2 hours before bed. The fiber, fats, and minerals work together to promote deep sleep, reduce glucose surges, and calm the bladder. One precaution: because flax seeds are high in fiber and mildly estrogenic, people with hormone-sensitive conditions or those new to fiber should start slowly to avoid gas or cramping. Always drink water when increasing flax intake to keep things moving smoothly through the digestive tract. Bonus tips to stop nocturia for diabetics. Stopping frequent nighttime urination isn't just about what you eat. It's also about how you live, when you hydrate, and how well your body handles blood sugar, inflammation, and hormones. For diabetics, especially those over 45, nighttime bladder control often depends on a series of small daily habits that create stability overnight. One of the most effective tips: time your hydration smartly. Instead of drinking large amounts of water in the evening, shift most of your fluid intake to the first two-thirds of the day. Then taper down after 6 p.m., keeping sips small and intentional. This reduces the total volume your bladder has to manage while you're trying to sleep. Another powerful habit is to limit hidden bladder irritants in your diet, especially before bedtime. These include artificial sweeteners like sucralose or aspartame, caffeine, carbonated drinks, acidic fruits like oranges, spicy foods, and even chocolate. Many of these ingredients trigger the bladder lining and increase urgency, especially in diabetics with nerve sensitivity. Try switching to a gentle, non-caffeinated herbal tea like chamomile or corn silk tea in the evening, which supports both kidney health and relaxation. Sleep hygiene also plays a major role. Poor sleep increases nighttime awakenings, which often triggers an unnecessary trip to the bathroom even when the bladder isn't full. Create a relaxing bedtime routine. Reduce screen time 1 hour before bed, keep your room cool and dark, and avoid heavy or sugary meals late in the evening. Diabetics who manage their circadian rhythm properly often notice a direct improvement in both glucose regulation and nocturia symptoms. Also, never overlook the power of pelvic floor exercises, especially for seniors. Kegel exercises strengthen the muscles that control the release of urine and are proven to reduce episodes of urge incontinence and nighttime leakage. Just 5 minutes a day, done consistently, can retrain your bladder over time. Lastly, monitor blood sugar closely in the evening. Even mild hyperglycemia before bed can lead to nocturnal polyuria, where excess sugar pulls water into the urine overnight. Aim for a stable range and consider a slow-digesting, low-glycemic snack like flaxseed yogurt or edamame 1 to 2 hours before bed to prevent glucose crashes that wake you up. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who struggles with nighttime urination. And for more science-based tips made just for diabetics, hit that bell so you never miss an update. Stay healthy and sleep well tonight.